Yesterday I showed you how to easily install this new FLUX.1 Kontext dev model from Black Forest Labs locally, and I presented you this video where not only I shared with you all the architectural details of this model but also how to get it installed in a very easy way by using Comfy UI and do some basic image generation. Now there are two things which I want to cover in this video. First, as promised, I am going to show you how you can do image editing, which is the primary role of this model. Secondly, and probably which suits more people, is how to get this running under 8 GB of VRAM. That's true, you can do this, but the problem is that it will take a long time to generate or edit an image. Just to give you an idea, I tried to edit an image with 8 GB of VRAM and it took me around 2 hours to do so. So that is the catch there. There is no free lunch, and I have to be very transparent that it is possible, but time is not on your side. And as you would increase your VRAM, then things will start improving, and that time of generation or editing will come down. So for example, you can do it with 12 GB of VRAM, 16 GB of VRAM. I will also show you how much does it consume with full precision when you are running it on full throttle and how long does it take. So if you are interested in learning more about this model's architecture, how to get it installed, please watch this video. Just search with context on my channel and you should be able to find it. I will also drop the link to it in maybe in the first comment, so you can just click and clack and get it installed. So I am assuming you already have this model downloaded and installed. I'm using Comfy UI to install this model, which is the best tool at the moment to get Flux models running, by the way, including this Kontext one. If you don't know what Comfy UI is, again, go to my channel, search with Comfy UI and watch this first video, which is easiest tutorial on Comfy UI on the planet. You should be able to follow this very easily and get Comfy UI installed with all the basic concepts around it. So this preamble was necessary because I believe we need to set the stage before we move forward. Now I already have Comfy UI installed. I already have this model configured as per these two videos which I showed you. If I take you to my Comfy UI console, this is how you edit the image. I will also give you the link to this workflow for free, and you can simply just download it and use it by clicking on this workflow and importing it. Now, having said that, all we are doing here, we are using this existing image on the left hand side. We are giving it this text prompt which I have just highlighted, and this has edited this image as per this text prompt. Now this is an example from their website, but I'm going to show you a lot of examples of my own. But before that, the second step is to show you how you can run this Comfy UI using 8 GB of VRAM. So let me take you to my terminal. So you see, at the moment my Comfy UI is running and it is offloading it to CPU. So this is the secret here, and that is why it takes so long, that most of the stuff gets offloaded to CPU. As I said, this took around, I would say 2 hours, around 2 hours on my and it took around 8 GB of VRAM. So let me show you the command which you need to use in order to launch Comfy UI to use 8 GB of VRAM. Now after installing this Comfy UI as per this video, just go to your terminal and then from the root of the repo of Comfy UI, launch Comfy UI something like this, where we are setting the VRAM mode to low. Low means that anything less than it will use 8 GB. Medium, if you specify medium, it will use around 16 GB or 12 GB, and high could be anything. So let's launch it. It is going to scan and then it is going to identify the models, and then you can see that it is going to offload it to CPU. You can ignore some of the warnings there. It is going to load the data and that sort of stuff, and this is ready. As soon as you see this URL, you can go here, and then my system has become quite slow because of VRAM. I think it is offloading to RAM and GPU. It already is evident now. So anyway, I'm just going to run this, and I will also show you the how exactly this runs. So just click on run. It is going to be very slow now. So you see this has become green. So let's wait. And you can see that it shows you the VRAM consumption around 3 GB as it progresses. So this is, I have seen it jump to around 7 GB, but then normally it hovers around this 3 GB mark. And that is why it is so slow. But as I said, it will take at least, for me, it took 2 hours. I'm not sure how long would it take for you. Maybe you could try increasing your RAM. I have 64 GB of RAM. Maybe I could also show you that. So let me clear the screen and then show you my RAM. So this is my RAM here. So it's quite a good RAM. Let's see let me show you my CPU, so that if you are looking to also replicate that, you can get it from Massed Compute, who are sponsoring this video, by the way. So if you're looking to rent a GPU or VM or CPU on very affordable prices, you can find the link to Massed Compute in video's description with a discount coupon code of 50% for a range of GPUs. Okay, so I'm going to revert back to the full precision mode of this, and we will try out few of the editing examples now. Okay, so in the first editing example, what I'm doing here, I'm just giving it this text prompt. Let me make it more bigger if I could. That the bear with massive panic ears is wearing cargo pants while sitting on a log in the woods, biting into a sandwich besides a beautiful alpine lake. So this is a bear. This is a image which I have selected from my local system by just clicking in choose file to upload. And then I just selected this bear image. And then let's click on run to see what it produces. Let me show you the VRAM consumption. The model is fully loaded onto the GPU and it is consuming over 34 gig of VRAM in total. Okay, so that is the full consumption of the model. And it just takes few seconds. I think it already is finished. Wow, it is finished. I'm just going to minimize this and I'm going to show you the resultant image. There you go. Look at the quality. You see, bear is eating something, sitting on a log, and how good that looks. How good that looks. Everything is so good. Now this is the beauty of this context model from Black Forest Labs. And as we already saw in our yesterday's video, the image generation is quite good, though it is not the forte of this model, but even then it is pretty good. Okay, let's try out a few more. Okay, next up, I'm giving it my own image. And for the text prompt, I am going to ask it, and I'll make it bigger. Make him look like a futuristic cyberpunk hacker with glowing neon tattoos, black tech goggles on his head, wearing a high collared jacket set in a rainy Tokyo night. So it is running. I'll just minimize again and we'll go here to see what it does. And if you don't know what these boxes means, these nodes, just watch my other video where I have explained it. Let's see how it generates, and I will let it run. You see, few seconds and it has generated this. Pretty good, I would say. So it has largely kept the features, but it has followed the prompt to the hilt, and that is what I really like about this model, that it follows the prompt quite good. So the CFG is very good for this, and you can play around with these, some of the values to improve this. A lot of room there. Okay, let's try out another one. In the next example, I'm asking it to transform him into a royal Mughal emperor wearing an ornate turban and silk robe, standing in a golden palace with marble pillars. There you go. Okay, it has lost the features of my face, of course. So it really, I don't think so it's a pass, because it's a totally different person, as you can see. So I'm just going to say, maybe we can play around with the prompt. I'll just say, instead of him, I'll say transform the person in the image into a royal Mughal. Now, one more thing you can do, you can of course, play around with the seed, with the scheduler sampler to control the generation of image. But I think I am already using the defaults for this context one, which works mostly with a lot of things. Okay, so I think it is trying to do so, but it's not really being there. Rest of the environment looks good, but facial feature is not there. Okay, let's try out this one. So this is an AI generated image of one of my AI models. So I'm saying here, change her outfit to an elegant red silk sari with golden embroidery, hair styled in a traditional Indian bun with jasmine flowers. It is pretty safe model, so I will let it run to show you what it generates. I'll just make it smaller. Let's wait for it. There you go. You see how good that looks. How good that looks. Really, really good stuff. Maybe I'll make it thumbnail of my video. Okay, so in the next test, I'm asking it to remove the shadows from the image, but you can see that it has kept the natural scenery. It has tried to do something, but not really much in terms of shadows, because that is not really a shadow, but a reflection. So maybe I'll say remove the maybe I'll just make it easier. Remove the reflection in the water in the image. Let's see if it is able to do that, to remove the reflection in the water. So it hasn't really removed the reflection, but it has removed the birds. You can see there are birds on the left, but no birds on the right hand side. Okay, let's try out few more. And I wanted to show you this in real time, so I'm asking it that change the cheese block to blue cheese. So I'm just going to make it bit, because there you go. This is I really like about it. So this is my prompt, simple, and it has changed this to blue cheese. Now it hasn't really just turned the color to blue, but it is actually a block of blue cheese, which is really intelligent. And it can identify the color. So all I did, I just asked it that change the purple color to red in the image, and you can see that it has done wonderfully well here. Okay, so now in the next test, I'm not sure if it can do this, but let's test it. I'm asking it change the word happiness to sadness in the image. So you see this is the image of text, and this is happiness. Let's see if what it has done here. I don't think so. It's an OCR model. Yeah, I couldn't do it. So text capabilities are not good of this model, as I noted yesterday. The previous one, the FLUX.1 dev was quite good in text. It couldn't really do the OCR too, and we understand it's not an OCR model. I'm just pushing the limits here maybe. And you can also generate comics with it, and they have provided the workflow which you can find on their website in Comfy UI. So I'm just going to show you the example. So I selected my image, it generated this comic image from it, and it has then gone in and took around 5 minutes to generate this whole comic story telling. Here you can see. So this is my comic version, it seems. Of course, you can play around with it to change it, but there are a lot of possibilities with this model. What I'm really looking forward to is different kinds of LoRa's or low rank adaptations, as we have covered a lot of LoRa's on the basis of FLUX.1 dev. So I'm very keen to see what sort of LoRa's come out for this model. And as I stumble upon any cool LoRa's, I'm going to cover them in the video and show you. So please like the video and share it, and hopefully it was useful. All the models which I have used, all the workflows which I have used, I will drop the link in video's description, so you can simply follow the links and then get those and have fun. As I said, for the installation of the tool which I have used, just check out these videos. I'm sure you will find something useful. Let me know what do you think. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel and share it among your network, as that's the only marketing guide too. So thank you for all the support.